Hello and welcome to the Philippines. This is give you an idea what the new taxi ride is going to look like. I think they just started up again Friday, and I think Friday and Saturday I saw just a couple, and here it is on Sunday when I'm doing this video, the 7th, and I think I've seen 3 or 4 out there today. This guy had his fleet that he works for. I think they have 200 vehicles, but they were only allowed 20 cars initially with the special permit to be operating. And they have to operate with this certain precautions, like this piece of plastic separating passengers from the driver. There's talk about trying to go cashless as much as you can, which can create an issue because the taxi drivers need cash to buy the fuel, etc., to eat. He's renting this vehicle. I think because of the limited number of passengers initially here, I think where normally this might go for a daily rental of 1,200 pesos, something like that, depending on how old the car is, anywhere from 800 to 12, 1,300. They are only charging him 600 pesos initially, so that helps him out. My friend took this trip and took the video, and from our place up near Mango Square, between Mango Square and Ayala Mall, was I think like 89 pesos one way and 97 the other way, so under $2 for that trip, so you can't beat that. Now there's a discussion about trying to go cashless. They're not set up for that yet, so you can pass the cash over the top of that plastic or around the side, however you can, underneath maybe, I'm not sure. And like grab cars, I think they're going to start. They have a option to go cashless anyway. You sign I believe you either use Grab Pay. They've got a pay app, Grab Pay, that you put money on. Go to like 7-Eleven or some other client store and put money on, kind of like a prepaid debit card, but it's an app on your phone and you can pay for your grab cars that way. And I think the taxis will probably go with something like that. There's a number of different payment options. There's Gcash, which is, it's not Google Cash here, it's Globe, one of the big cell phone companies, Gcash. And you can load instead of loading a cell load to make calls and text, you just load bank, so you've got cash on your phone, and you can scan like a code and pay it that way. There are a number of other Paymaya, Alipay, but there's just a bunch of different ways to pay using electronic funds like that. The rules right now are that people under 20 and people over 60 are supposed to stay locked in their house. Lockdown continues, but something else says that you are allowed to go out for essential goods and services. So it's kind of a gray area there. Most of the malls in Cebu City, Mandaue City, will allow seniors to shop. My experience in the last month is that Robinson's Mall and JY Square Mall will not allow seniors in. They'll turn you back. In fact, one guy even told me they took him back to his house and they asked the condo management to take a list of what he needed and help shop for him. Not sure if that's still the case or not. I live in Cebu City, and there's also the question if Mandaue City is where the immigration office is, in J Center Mall. And my friend who took the taxi asked, how difficult is it to pass in the taxi? And he said, well, there are still checkpoints, and they're not worried about the taxi driver, but they will check the passenger to see if they have a pass. And some some checkpoints being more strict than others, some officers being more strict than others. You're supposed to get a day pass from I think from your barangay. And I've read one article said get it from your local police station, but the taxi driver said to get it from your barangay, so which is the village that you live in within the city. So that may be an issue. He said that they may turn you around if you're in the taxi, you're a senior, you come to the checkpoint, they check, you don't have that day pass to cross that border from city to city. They may turn you around and tell you need to go back, or they may allow you to go on and take care of your business. My friend had the discussion with the two taxi drivers in Bisaya language. And if you're interested, if you know how to speak it, understand it, or if your friends do and want to check that out, she has a channel, whatever that says, I can't pronounce it. I'll put a link at the end of this video and in the description as well. Took her about 20 minutes, 25 minutes waiting in line to get into the SM supermarket. I've had some kind of bug pest problem for about 2 weeks, and thought I killed them off, and then they would reappear. Wasn't sure what it was. I've taken a couple pictures of it, and finally got some more bug spray. Used some boric acid, a little white powder. That seems to kill them real well. But end up finding them in a big batch of them in a bag of pasta, Italian pasta, and I suspect that's where they came from. If they patched while they were after we bought them or what. And then found some additional ones after we got rid of those. Started seeing them again, and went into a bag of rice that had not been opened, and had been vacuum sealed. Found a little hole where apparently they had chewed a little hole through this bag, and there's a bunch of them living in there. And this bag of rice. So taking care of that, cleaning everything up. And they had about I think 15 taxis waiting outside of SM, just like in the old days. There used to be a lineup of taxis waiting for customers. And the same routine, they had a little sheet for you to fill out with your name and address that the taxi driver is supposed to get, and that gets turned in, I think, daily to the LTO, the Land Transportation Offices, so that if there is a suspected case, they can contact trace backwards. There's that little clipboard, list of names, customers for the day, and there again, best if you bring your own pen, and we've got gloves to wear as well, little plastic gloves. And if you want to be extra careful, wear 2 pair of gloves, and after you've been messing around with somebody else's stuff, you take 1 pair off and discard it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.